Hey guys, I forgot to send out the reminder email that I was going live, but oh well. Hey everyone, hope that you guys are doing great. Okay, this is my video training on how to increase progesterone. All right, so this is definitely a really important topic because a lot of women don't even realize that they have low progesterone until maybe they're ready to conceive and things aren't happening the way they're supposed to be happening, and maybe they've gone to get some testing done. They don't realize that their progesterone levels are way too low. So I definitely want to talk about how to increase it naturally, because a lot of people think that you need pills and creams to get your progesterone levels at the normal level, and you really don't. Like you can balance out your hormones in a natural way. Okay, you don't necessarily need to, and I actually speak against things like pills and creams and all that stuff. But anyway, so let's get started. Hopefully you guys are able to jump on soon, but if not, you guys can definitely watch the replay because it's going to be a really important live. All right, so progesterone. What does progesterone do in our body? And let me make sure this is in the live event. Okay, so what does progesterone do in our body? Hey, if you're coming in, please put a 1 in the chat. Let me make sure the chat is working. Let me make sure you guys can see me see me and hear me perfectly. So now how Facebook Live is sometimes. But yeah, so progesterone pretty much is the primary function in a woman's body when it comes to, it's primary sex hormone in a woman's body when it comes to our hormonal health. That helps prepare your body literally for pregnancy. Okay, that's not all it does, but that's definitely one of the most important things that it does. Okay, so but aside from pregnancy, it's very necessary for just your overall health as a woman. Okay, your overall hormonal health, and it's very necessary in terms of when it comes to keeping your estrogen levels balanced as well. Okay, so it's a hormone that's released during the 4th phase of your full 28-day cycle. Okay, so during the luteal phase after ovulation, that is when your progesterone heightens. Okay, so that is when your progesterone pretty much dominates, and then it starts to, like I said, lower as you get your menstruation. Okay, so right after ovulation, so it's a sex hormone released from your ovaries. That's vital for you being able to conceive. That's vital for you to maintain a healthy pregnancy. Very important, and typically it peaks after ovulation. So it's really important to know when you're ovulating, so you can take advantage of that progesterone. And I'm gonna get into all the things that progesterone does for our body, like what it and also signs like your progesterone levels are too low, because we got to find out why your progesterone levels are too low in order to know how to naturally raise it. Okay, so if you're in, put a 1 in the chat if you're in. I'm trying to see whether the chat works today. Hopefully it works today. We'll see. But anyway, so whether or not you're trying to get pregnant currently or not, like I said, you should care about your hormonal health, right? Because progesterone, with low progesterone levels, you're definitely going to get like a lot of unpleasant side effects. Fibroids being one, cysts being another, heavy cycles. I was saying earlier that if you have heavy cycles, if you have prolonged cycles or irregular cycles, any issues dealing with your cycles, then we know that your progesterone levels are too low. Okay, so it's crucial for maintaining healthy fertility, healthy pregnancy, and still a healthy body, a healthy, like I said, hormonal health. Progesterone is vital in your body. All your hormones are important. Progesterone is definitely a very important hormone that a lot of people bypass, right? So what is it responsible for in your body? What is progesterone responsible for in your body? It literally makes your uterine lining sticky in order for the egg to implant. Okay, it also protects your uterine lining as well, which is very important. It also has anti-anxiety benefits, and you'll see nowadays a lot of people suffer from anxiety or anxiety medication. That is due to hormonal imbalance, and that is due to having low progesterone. When your progesterone levels are at a normal amount, you have a normal amount of progesterone, your anxiety, like I said, is going to, lessen significantly. Okay, a lot of people don't realize that. Like, your hormonal health has to do a lot with your moods. Okay, so progesterone also balances out the estrogen in your body, which is vital, because if the estrogen in your body is not balanced out, this is when the estrogen goes haywire. Progesterone and estrogen work like a seesaw effect, right? So progesterone kind of keeps that estrogen in check so it doesn't go crazy in your body, because we don't want too much estrogen. This is where things like fibroids, infertility, breast cancer, all these estrogen dominant issues come up in the body when your progesterone levels are too low. So by default, if you have estrogen dominance, if you have fibroids, if you have heavy bleeding, if you know your progesterone levels are low, that's one of the reasons why you're going through these side effects. Okay, so really, really important. So progesterone, it literally works hand in hand with estrogen. So those two have to be balanced. Those two have to work harmoniously in the body in order for your hormones to stay in balance. Okay, so it's like when your hormones are out of balance, what people tend to do is when they have one hormone that's out of balance, what they tend to do is they hyper focus on that one hormone and raising that one hormone. For example, if they have low progesterone, they focus on that, and maybe they get like progesterone creams from the doctor. But here's the thing, when that one hormone is out of balance, that also has a ripple effect on your other hormones as well. Okay, so it's really important for you, like I said, to look at your body, like I said, from a holistic standpoint. We have to work with, when you are raising your progesterone levels, we also have to, like I said, you're also balancing out your hormones, restoring that balance back into your body. Okay, that's why it's so important to look at your body as, from a holistic standpoint, and not just, pick apart like one hormone is hyper focused on that, right? Because then what tends to happen too when people do that, they may be lowering another hormone when they're just focusing on one hormone. You don't want to do that, okay? When your body is healed, when your body has balance, it will naturally, your glands, your organs will naturally produce the right amount of that hormone, that particular hormone, okay? So just keep that in mind, okay? So your body works harmoniously together. Your hormones work harmoniously together in order to balance each other out, okay? So that's why I don't believe in taking these progesterone pills and creams. I know these things are really popular from the doctor, especially for people that, want to conceive. I really stress really doing the work to balance out your hormones, and so that it can have a ripple effect on your entire body and balance out the health in your body. Because when your hormones are balanced, when your body is at its optimum health, then your body works the way it's supposed to work, and it does what it's supposed to do, okay? So let's talk about, and I'm so mad the comments aren't working. If you guys are in, you guys can put a 1 in the chat. Hopefully it starts to work soon. I don't understand why it does this. Okay, so what's a certain thing that can really, impact your progesterone production, excuse me. Stress has a huge impact on your progesterone, huge impact. Stress, nutrient deficiencies, okay, eating an abundance of processed foods. Thank you, Elle. Okay, I can see the comments now. Yay. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Not eating enough fiber definitely is one, okay. Estrogen dominance, because if you are estrogen dominant by default, again, your progesterone levels are too low, okay? Because a lot of women have low progesterone and have no clue. It's actually an epidemic. We know that most women have estrogen dominance, so that means by default, most women are going to have low progesterone as well, okay? So some signs and symptoms that your progesterone levels are too low. PMS, okay, yes, because people think that that's normal and it's not. PMDD as well, okay? When you have painful periods, when you have prolonged periods that are longer than 4 or 5 days, when you have irregular cycles, when you have spotting in between your cycles, when you have heavy menstrual cycles, that's definitely one. When you have any type of bloating or water retention, because guess what? Progesterone works as a natural diuretic, okay? So progesterone, like I said, dominates right before your cycle. So when you're dealing with bloating or water retention or even soreness in the breast, tender breast, that means that your progesterone levels are too low, right? Because your progesterone levels are supposed to prevent all of that from happening. And tenderness and soreness in the breast right before your period is water retention as well, okay? Fibroids, of course, if you have fibroids, that means that's a sign that your progesterone is too low. That's a sure sign, in my opinion. Anxiety, cysts, any type of cyst in whether it's your breast or your ovaries, PCOS, of course, infertility, trigger warning. When you have first trimester miscarriage, that's a sign that you have low progesterone. Endometriosis, of course, any issues dealing with your thyroid, depression, as well as having issues with your sleep, having skin issues as well. That's a sign as well. And also having a very short luteal phase, okay? So and I talked about this in my Reset Your Hormones workshop. Okay, your luteal phase, which is so your menstrual cycle has 4 phases, and the luteal phase is the phase right after ovulation, right? Luteal phase should last about 14 days, but if it's shorter than 10 days, that's a sign that your progesterone levels are too low. Okay, so how can you then increase your progesterone levels naturally? Okay, if you realize that it's too low, what are some things that you can do to really increase it naturally? That's really going to help you not just increase your progesterone levels in general, but also help with your, your hormonal health in general. Okay, the first step is you want to find out why exactly is my progesterone levels too low. That's the first step, because what a lot of what people do is they want to just treat the problem, and they don't want to, like I said, get to the root of the problem to really heal it from the root and do the work to heal, because that's a lot more harder. That's a lot harder. So they rather just take a medication or a pill and get that temporary relief in order, and not, like I said, do the work to heal that problem from the root. And that's a huge problem. Okay, so there's a reason why your progesterone levels are too low. You have to find out what exactly that reason is, whether it's your diet, whether it's the stress you have high levels of stress in your life, whether lack of self-care, whether it's your lifestyle is just too chaotic. What's the reason that you have low progesterone? Because there is a reason. Okay, and it can't be just because you have fibroids, because there's or cysts, right? Because like I said, there's a reason for why you have fibroids and cysts, because these things don't develop in a healthy body. Fibroids don't just develop randomly in a healthy body, right? It develops because there's an issue. There's a hormonal imbalance, right? Things have been taken out of balance in your body. So it's really important for you to recognize what exactly you have to do. And it might take you a little bit of time, right? You got to do the work to really go back to really focus in on, okay, what was going on in my life when I developed these fibroids? What was going on in my life when I developed these cysts, this heavy bleeding, these painful cramps? What was going on in my life, okay? You got to determine that, right? In order for you to alleviate the problem. So find out what's making my progesterone levels too low. Being over 40 is not an excuse, right? Because you guys know that most of my clients are over 40, and once they're working with me, we're able to get their hormones balanced. Their body works the way it's supposed to work. So being over 40, I know that doctors tell you that that's what, no, that's not an excuse, okay? So do the work to find out why your progesterone levels are too low. All right, so the first thing you want to do that's going to really help you increase your progesterone, this one is underrated. This is the one that a lot of people don't want to do, but really stress management, having proper stress management. I can't stress that enough. I cannot stress that enough. Properly managing your stress. Literally, when you are dealing with high levels of stress, we know that, like I said, the stress hormone cortisol rises when you're dealing with high stress, right? So once your cortisol levels increase, what happens is your progesterone literally takes a back seat, right? So that literally by default makes your progesterone production, that lowers your progesterone production when your cortisol levels are heightened. So imagine going through a long period of time being in high stressful situations, whether that's high stress relationships or jobs or whatever, and that means that your progesterone levels are going to be, like I said, suffer significantly. So it's really important for you to get your life together somehow and just find ways to alleviate that stress, right? It's going to look differently for everybody, but find ways, I don't care if it's meditation, journaling, finding a new job or whatever, find ways to, I know that we cannot avoid the stress 100%, but your body is not created to be in a high stressful state every single day. That's very unhealthy. That has a huge impact, not just on your hormones, but your overall health. That's literally going to destroy your health. Okay. And I've seen it literally destroy people's lives, being, in their health. This is how we get cancers, heart disease, and all types of things, right? So there's no way that you're going to raise your progesterone levels if you're dealing with high levels of stress on a daily basis, So find ways to alleviate that stress. Stress management is so important. It's something that a lot of people struggle with, especially women, okay? You got to find ways, because women, I know that we have a lot on our plate as women, right? Typically, especially if you're in the U.S. But you have to find ways to alleviate. You have to find ways to deal with your stress, to calm it down. Therapy, whatever, right? Going out in nature, getting some sun, Exercising, of course, is an amazing way to deal with your stress. Amazing way. I highly recommend that. But find a way, okay? Find a way, make some lifestyle changes. Very important, okay? So that literally by default, lowering your stress levels really will help your raise your progesterone significantly. Okay, it will have, trust me. And this is why a lot of people too, you see a lot of people too have issues with conceiving as well, because they're stressed out. You know, it's a lot of stress. And I know that when you're struggling with that does add to the stress, but you have to find ways to, like I said, scale it back. Medication, massage, exercising, meditation. Yes, exercising, writing down, journaling. Yes, Lana. Absolutely. So meditation, a massage. Yeah, those are great ways. Therapy, you know, those are great ways to lower your stress. Hey, Empress. Hey, sis. So, yes. So another thing is like reducing caffeine. I know this one's going to piss a lot of people off, but this is this one. Happy Tuesday to you too. Reducing caffeine helps to increase your progesterone, okay? We have a high addiction to coffee. I don't understand it. It's literally a stimulant. You guys know it puts the body in fight or flight mode. It raises your cortisol levels, okay? So it literally promotes the stress response in the body, the same way being in high stressful situations does, okay? So it's linked. We know that stress is linked to having a progesterone imbalance. So lowering that coffee intake or just that caffeine intake overall is going to, like I said, help with your, increase that progesterone production, okay? It's really, really important. Really, I will honestly get off of it. Coffee also dehydrates you significantly. A lot of women are already dehydrated, so then they're adding coffee onto that, making it 10 times worse, okay? You can do it. Yes, Empress. I know she was so mad, and Empress was at the workshop in January, and she was pissed off when I was like, take the coffee out. But she did it, and she's doing so much better. So yay, go Empress. Lena, I'm not sure what you mean. Decade, I'm not sure. Try mushroom coffee, absolutely. And it doesn't have caffeine in it. So they have alternatives that don't have caffeine in them. I heard roasted dandelion was also good as well, a good coffee alternative. But definitely find coffee alternatives. Herbal teas are great as well. Stay away from coffee, ladies. It's not, and if you are like one of those people that literally drink like 5 cups a day, which I hope nobody on here is, drinks that much coffee. Let's start lowering our amounts of coffee. Okay, let's start, like I said, decaf. No, decaf still isn't good. Water, teas, herbal teas. Okay, let's get out, like I said, these things that are not going to serve us. Okay, so coffee, also it does have an impact on the way your body metabolizes estrogen. Because you know that if my progesterone levels are too low, that means by default you have excess amounts of estrogen. Because again, estrogen and progesterone work as a seesaw effect in the body. Okay, so really, really important. So recognizing that if I have fibroids, that means I have low progesterone. If I have cysts, that means my progesterone levels are too low. If I have heavy bleeding, you know what I mean? These signs, the same signs that I have. I'm going to do another video on estrogen dominance because I do have a lot of new followers. So I'll probably do that on Thursday. But water, yes, exactly. Finding ways to, like I said, to detoxify some of that estrogen in your body by default helps raise your progesterone levels. Okay. I also want to talk about, that would be great. I love coffee. I've lowered mine only 10 ounces. Great job, Great job, Mayoshi. Great job. But Mayoshi, you've done amazing. So definitely commend you. And but we want to, like I said, work on getting rid of it 100% if you can. Okay, so now let's talk about adopting a nutrient-rich diet, okay, with minimum processed foods. This one is a big one, okay, when it comes to increasing progesterone, when it comes to our hormonal health, we definitely have to look at our diet because majority of people, that's the problem right there, okay? That's the problem right there. So if you are focusing on increasing your progesterone, what we want to do is we want to increase the fiber, right? Very important. Again, you want to eat things that's going to help you detoxify some of that estrogen, right? That's going to lower the estrogen because that's by default going to decrease the progesterone. So fiber literally works as a scrub brush in your body. It literally, you know, helps with taking out toxins and waste and all that stuff. And it has a number of other nutrients. And majority of people are not eating, not even nearly enough fiber, right? I was telling my Detoxify Your Womb clients yesterday that a lot of people hyper focus on protein, and we want to avoid that because the majority of people, we're all getting enough protein. I can guarantee we're getting more than enough protein, right? If you really assess your diet. But we hyper focus on that. What we need to focus on is things that we're not getting enough of. For example, fiber is definitely one. Magnesium, zinc, potassium, iron. These are things that we're significantly low in while we're so focused on protein. Okay, that's why we, you know, as a whole, we have all these health issues, right? So fiber is really, really important. You know, by default, it definitely helps with, like I said, raising that progesterone levels. It does. I'm so proud I still haven't had ice cream. Great job, Empress. Great job. Fiber-rich foods like mango and pineapples. Exactly. Fruits and vegetables, ladies. Like fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds. These things have a high abundance of fiber. So that means we should be eating an abundance of these things every single day. And not just whenever we remember, whenever we feel like it, or a couple times a week. No, these things should be the core of your diet. More so than these other things like these processed foods, right? So just fiber. It don't have to... Just fiber. I wouldn't even focus on weighing. And I was telling my Detoxify Your Womb clients last night, let's not focus on the weighing our food and counting calories and grams. And that's just too much. Just eat abundance of fruits and vegetables every single day, period. Okay? And yes, vitamin D, selenium, yeah, all that stuff. So let's just eat, let's just focus on that. Like when we focus on, like I said, you know, making health like a science fair project, like when it's really not, it's literally just increasing the amounts of fruits and vegetables every single day. Okay, don't worry so much on the counting the grams and don't worry so much with it. Just increase the amount, and your body will tell you when you know what I mean. Your body will naturally tell you when you're full. Number one, your body will tell you by the symptoms that you're exhibiting, you know, whether you're getting enough or not. Trust me. And once you're one with your body, hey 𝐾𝐞𝐭𝐨𝐿, hey, once you're one with your body, like you're gonna know that you're getting enough nutrients, right? If your energy levels have increased, if your sleep is better, these things, like I said, these things, if you're losing weight, for people that may need to lose weight, it's like your body telling you that what you're doing. So your cycles are getting better. Your hormonal health is improving, that you know that you're doing something right. So we want to focus more so on that. So less processed foods, less sugar, less processed sugar as well. And when I say sugar, I always have to say this point. I'm not talking about the sugars in fruits, because people always get that mixed up and think that I'm not talking about natural sugars. I'm talking about sugar, like these refined sugars that, like I said, these white refined foods such as breads and pastas and all that stuff in your body that breaks down as sugar. Okay. So staying away also too, this is a big one, staying away from low carb diets as well. This one is a big one. Okay. Because a lot of low carb diets take away, like you cannot eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, which is ridiculous. I mean, staying away from these high protein diets, really filling up your diet, like I said, with fiber, with zinc, with magnesium. You're going to see that in a lot of these fruits and vegetables, okay? So staying away from these weird diets, whether they're low carb diets, whether they're high protein diets or calorie counting diets. No, let's focus on filling our diet up with nutritious foods, like with more fruits and more vegetables, okay? So that's really important. Also, increasing why I'm sort of a carnivore. Okay. I don't want to get too much into that. I'm not telling you to adopt a particular diet, you know, whether it's, you know, vegan, or this or that. I'm not telling you that, but I'm telling you that if you're not eating a bunch of fruits and vegetables, then how are you going to, like I said, metabolize toxins and waste out of your body? How is your hormones going to stay in balance? And how is your body going to be replenished with nutrients? And that is why people suffer with womb health issues, okay? So you can be carnivore if you choose to, that's fine. But when your body starts exhibiting health issues, then, you know, I'm not telling you guys not to eat meat at all, but I'm saying that we're not made to eat high amounts of meat, okay? We're just not made that way. And that's why you see that a lot of people's health are failing when they have high amounts of meat in their diet, okay? You can eat meat, but you should be eating more fruits and vegetables more so than meat, okay? So hopefully that works. Is it okay if you don't have bread every day? Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. I wouldn't eat. I just wouldn't eat if I was dealing with any type of womb health issues. I just wouldn't eat white bread at all. You know, I just wouldn't. There's certain things, especially when there's like replacements for that. Like there's so many, like you can eat. There's different replacements for that, right? You don't want to eat white bread, white pastas, white rice, right? So hopefully, you know, whole grain is better. I don't know. I'm asking because it seems to fix PCOS. It doesn't, but you know, that's what they say. That's what they say. But I've worked with people with PCOS and I've helped people get rid of PCOS. And I don't know how a a diet when you're eating a lot of meat is going to take away PCOS. You know, anyway, if it works for you, go ahead and do it. But I haven't seen it work. Okay. So, but anyway, so I'm talking increasing magnesium levels as well. A lot of people are very low in magnesium. They're magnesium deficient, and that is why you see a lot of people have sugar cravings. That's one of the nutrients that you're missing if you have sugar cravings, as well as being dehydrated and missing a whole bunch of other nutrients. But so magnesium, it plays a vital role in your hormone production and regulating your hormones, just like vitamin D does. So it's definitely one of the hormones that help you increase that progesterone, right? So what foods? Let's talk about some foods that have magnesium in them: nuts, seeds, chickpeas, beans, lentils, quinoa, avocados. Okay, I always tell people, if you are trying to get pregnant, let me tell you, you should be eating an avocado every single day. Everybody should be eating avocados every single day. Like it has. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Like it just has a healthy fats. It has, you know, lots of magnesium, potassium, iron. Like it's just an amazing, amazing fruit. Leafy greens, you should be also eating an abundance of leafy greens. It has a lot of, not even only magnesium. Zinc is something that we need as well when we're trying to raise our progesterone levels. And a lot of people, like I said, are not getting enough of. Okay, so okra, the foods, Lana, the foods that I'm naming. Focus on getting your nutrients from foods. People want to, like I said, focus so much on these vitamins in the store that are, you know, synthetic vitamins in the store. Let's focus on getting our vitamins from foods. Yes. What causes sweet cravings? So lack of magnesium. That's something like a fiber too. Also dehydration as well. Not drinking enough water. These are some things that cause this, but just know if you're having, if you're craving sweets all the time, that means, like I said, you're literally missing nutrients in the body. There's definitely nutrient, you're nutrient deficient in the, so increase vitamin C as well. Okay, and literally we know that citrus fruits has vitamin C. Yellow bell peppers also has lots of vitamin C as well. Kiwi, kale. So literally, if you're eating a diet with, thank y'all for the stars, okay? If you don't mind, thank you so much, Lacey, for the stars. Yes, y'all send stars if you're enjoying this conversation. And also, if you don't mind to like the live as well as you come in. So yeah, so it definitely, you gotta increase, like I said, if you're eating a nutrient-rich diet, right? If you're eating a colorful diet, then you know, like I said, you are getting enough of these things. If you're eating abundance of fruits, if you're eating abundance of vegetables, right? It's a lot easier to get abundance of these nutrients, and you don't need, like I said, these vitamins. When I see people taking vitamins and they're not eating their nutrients, their health is not that great, okay? So deficiency in magnesium, is there a correlation to dehydration and PMS? Yeah, absolutely, Empress. Yeah. So if you know that if you're dealing with PMS or you're dealing with PMS cravings, then yes, magnesium, you're definitely deficient in magnesium, because remember I said during the luteal phase you want to definitely increase. You should always be eating an abundance of magnesium-rich foods, but you definitely want to hyper focus on it during that luteal phase. So yes. Like the B vitamins help cravings. Yeah, you can say that. Because like I said, these foods that I'm naming, they also have B vitamins. And the funny thing is, a lot of fruits and vegetables have an abundance of many different types of nutrients that we actually need. Okay, so yes, rainbow colors. So also, syncing your cycle is really important. Syncing your cycle. And I have a whole video on this. I did a video about this a couple weeks ago. I talked about this in the Reset Your Hormones workshop a couple months ago. If you were not in it, then you should have been in it. But syncing your cycle, aligning your cycle to your lifestyle, very important. Thank you for the stars, Empress. Aligning your cycle to your lifestyle is very, very important. It helps with your overall hormonal health, okay? Because again, we are women, right? We are women. We're not meant to put out the same productivity every single day. We're influenced a lot by our hormones, right? You know, so you want to work with your hormones and not against your hormones, right? And if you don't understand, that's why I said it's so important to track your cycle. You got to know as a woman, when are you ovulating? You have to know, when am I in my luteal phase, right? And there's different things that happen during these phases. We know during the luteal phase, your progesterone is heightened, right? So there are different things that go on in your body during the full 28-day cycle. So understanding these 4 phases of your cycle, yes, Lacey, it definitely helps you, like I said, aligning your body to your cycle helps so much with your hormonal health, right? This is literally how people, like I said, when they sync their cycle, is definitely a lot better. It helps a lot with healing your hormones. Understanding your body, understanding your cycle. Women have to start getting back to understanding our body and being one with our body. We're so far removed from our body, it's ridiculous. Majority of women don't even know when they are ovulating, which is absolutely ridiculous. They don't really, like I said, they're not interested in learning these things until, like I said, it's time to get pregnant. Then we want to know. But that's, I'm not saying it's too late then, because it's definitely not. But I'm saying these are things that we should learn since puberty, right? And for ladies that have daughters, you should be teaching your daughters this when, from the time when they're teenagers, right? Through the full 28-day cycle, you should know as a woman what's going on in my body, all full 28 days. Or whether that's for some women that may be 29, 30 days, or 27 or 26 days. And there was a funny meme that I put up, what was it, a couple of weeks ago, that, when you're ovulating, right, and like I said, you're dating, you may be, like I said, your testosterone levels are higher, you may take more risks, right? And then after, when you're in your luteal phase, you may kind of you may show some interest in somebody, and then you may fall off during your luteal phase, right? And like I said, that means that you are more, like I said, when you're in your luteal phase, you're more, like I said, using your logical brain, and you're more, you're more introspective. So just really understanding your body is really, really important. Okay. Menopause women still have a cycle, no periods. Yes, absolutely. And most women think they're in menopause. They're not really in menopause. It's just that their cycles have shut down due to being, like I said, due to years of dealing with hormonal imbalances, due to years of abusing their bodies, right? They're doing to their bodies being filled with toxins and waste, and their cycles just stop. And they think they're in menopause, but they're actually not. There's many women that I have brought out of menopause. Actually, I have a client right now who is in her late 40s who thought she was in menopause, but guess what? Had a cycle, and she's only working with me for about 4 or 5 weeks, and she was like, I had a cycle. Like, what? After months. And she was like, it was like the lightest cycle I ever had. It was the most common cycle that she ever had, because she was used to having chaotic cycles before when she was having cycles, and she feels amazing. Her anxiety levels have lowered significantly. Her depression has lowered significantly. She's off her blood pressure medications just within 4 to 5 weeks. 4 to 5 weeks, she's lost weight. She's like, this is the best I've ever. She can't even imagine when she felt this great. She can't, it's crazy. So when your hormones are in balance, your body works the way it's supposed to work. You're even happier. Your relationships are better, right? You feel more like you, right? So very, very important. We need to put ourselves first. Absolutely. Women do need to put themselves first for their own health and wellness. Absolutely. I'm a knower. Tracking my cycle manually is how I get or avoid pregnancy. Yes, exactly. And people think that they have to get on birth control to avoid pregnancy. No, you don't. Just track your cycle. Know your body. It's really important. Yes, mine stopped at 57. Okay, that's awesome for her. Yes, she's doing amazing. She's so happy. She's amazing. So, also, I want to talk about supporting the liver. Supporting that liver, because we know that our progesterone levels are low. If we know that we're dealing with estrogen dominance, we know that we're dealing with a low functioning liver. We're dealing with poor liver function, right? Our liver is not functioning effectively like it's supposed to, right? Because what your liver is supposed to do is metabolize the estrogens, metabolize your hormones, the toxins, the waste. So if you are dealing with excess estrogen, and you're dealing with low progesterone, your liver is not functioning the way it's supposed to function. It's supposed to, like I said, help with the hormonal balance in your body. So we gotta, like I said, help support that liver so it can do its job. So that means that our liver is probably more likely dealing with a toxin overload, right? So That's like eating these foods, like I said, increasing the nutrients in your diet definitely helps support your liver. Getting rid of things like caffeine in your diet, you know, increasing hydration. What else is really bad for the liver? We know alcohol is horrible for the liver. Sugar is horrible for the liver. So starting to limit these things, if not take them out of your diet. Okay. Liver is so important for your hormonal health. Having a healthy functioning liver is key for fertility, for your menstrual health, for your hormonal, like it's key, right? Your liver is literally your body's master detoxifier. Okay. So it's like, you cannot be out here just, like I said, doing things that are going to like harm your liver, such as, you know, even painkillers are horrible for the liver. Birth control pills are bad for the liver, right? So, like, if your body, like I said, if your body is healthy, we're not gonna need. If your body's healthy, we're not gonna need painkillers during our cycle. We don't need. I can't remember the last time I popped a painkiller, and I used to literally carry them in my purse. That's how much I needed them. So, it's really, really important. So, lowering that toxin load and you know, not putting so much stress on your organs, right? Because if we're dealing with fibroids, we're dealing with heavy bleeding, we're dealing with cysts, we're dealing with any type of hormonal imbalance. We know that liver is stressed, kidneys are stressed. We know that your organs are stressed, right? Very important. Also, maintaining a healthy weight is really important as well. Very, very important. We know that fat cells produce estrogen, right? So if we're dealing with a high amount of fat cells, then we know that that's going to result in estrogen dominance. That's going to result in high estrogen, right? And by default, if your estrogen levels are too high, that's going to lower your progesterone levels. So this is really important for you to get to a healthy weight, okay? I know that this is controversial to say, but it's the truth, you know? When we're dealing with a lot of these hormonal health issues, not all the time, but a lot of times are from, you know, being overweight, right? And a bunch of other things as well. But yes, being overweight, bad diet choices, poor lifestyle, they all kind of go together, okay? So getting down to a healthy weight is extremely important. I'm trying to get back under 200. That's why I'm talking about, Empress. Yes, under 160. Yes. And summertime is coming. You can do it, girl. You got this. Empress is doing a good job. She's come a long way, so I'm proud of her. Really, really proud of her. So when your liver is not functioning properly, you can't get better. Exactly. Liver health is so important and it's so underrated. And a lot of people don't even, you know, they don't consider it during your healing journey. What you eat, like, you know, even stress has an effect on your liver, okay? Even stress has an effect on your liver. So lowering those stress levels, like I talked about earlier, increasing your hydration, okay? Because if we're dealing with, you know, if we're dealing with all these caffeine and things that dehydrate you, and sugar, these are dehydrating foods, very dehydrating things in your body, right? So really helping your body detoxify those excess estrogen, that excess toxins, those excess waste, helping your body detoxify that stuff is really, really important, okay? So I say all that to say, for ladies that are having issues, if you're having issues with fibroids, if you're having issues with infertility, with cysts, if you're having issues with hormonal health, and you really, really, like I said, you really need help, you need guidance in order to heal that, in order to get, you know, shrink your fibroids, in order to get rid of PCOS, in order to balance your hormones, in order to be able to conceive, I highly recommend that you get into the Detoxify Your Womb program. All right, it's an amazing 12-week program. Amazing 12-week program. We just opened up February 1st, but you can do it anytime. And the program literally, it helps you, like I said, restore balance back into your body. It helps you shrink your fibroids. It helps you restore health within your body, within your organs. Really important. Like it's literally only been open since February 1st, and the testimonials coming out of there within 4 or 5 weeks is crazy. I already had somebody, one of my clients literally last week get an MRI, and she said that her fibroid in like a month or so, or 2 months, literally shrunk almost the whole centimeter, okay? And she was like, I think she only has like 2 other little fibroids. And I'm like, you know, we're gonna get rid of those like within a couple months. They're gonna be gone. So her fibroid now is like 1.5 centimeters. And she was like, oh my gosh, like what? Had another client literally lose like, 10 pounds in 8 days, the first 8 days in the program. I was like, what? Crazy, you know. And I was on live. I mean, we were on the Zoom call, our weekly Zoom call last night, and my clients, the first cohort of Detoxify Your Womb clients, you know, one of them was like on the Zoom call. She came on camera, and I was like, oh my God, you look amazing. Your skin's glowing. Like, it was such a difference than when she had first come into the program. And I was like, wow, like you look like a different person. Like, oh, I couldn't believe it. Like, wow. She was like, thank you, thank you. So it just shows you like how, like I said, improving, restoring balance in your body, what it can do for your, not even just your health in general, your inner health, but your, but also like just your overall aura, restoring balance and balancing your hormones and really eating, you know, like I said, increasing nutrients in your diet, so many things, right? And a lot of people need a community. Like a community is so important. They need guidance, they need support. You know, people have problem areas that they're not able to see themselves. And that's why this program is so important, right? So important. So if that is you, if you are struggling with your health and you're tired of doing it alone and you want to collapse time, because when we're doing it alone, sometimes it takes forever to really, like I said, see, you know, a huge amount of success, right? With, you know, in this program, in my programs, within like a weeks, you're seeing a huge difference, right? So make sure that you get in the Detoxify Your Womb program. If you have a question, oh, Elle is on here. Yes, from 2.4 to 1.5. Yes, Elle. Yes, that's one of my clients. Yes, almost a whole centimeter, like within a couple months. Like what? Yes. Oh my gosh. So I'm so proud of her. Yes, yes, yes. So yes, thank you for pointing that out. So, but anyway, so if you guys are interested in joining the amazing Detoxify Your Womb program, it's an amazing program. I'm going to put the link in the, if it's not already in the caption, I'm going to put the link in the caption, and you can DM me if you have any questions, okay, about the program. All right. But this is pretty much it. This is how you increase progesterone. Remember that increasing progesterone in your body, we're also, it's going to be a ripple effect in your body and healing your other hormones as well, okay? Because we don't want to hyper focus in on one particular hormone and ignore the rest. But doing these things, increasing your progesterone naturally, not taking a pill, not taking the progesterone medication or whatever they have these days out on the market, is going to help with your other hormones. Again, if we have low progesterone, that means we have by default high estrogen. And if we have, like I said, estrogen dominance, if we have cysts, if we have fibroids, if we have heavy bleeding, if we have all these other things that come with estrogen dominance, any type of menstrual issues or anything like that, that means by default our progesterone levels are too low. Okay, so hopefully this helps. All right, this video helps. Cystic acne, I think that's the name, getting off the medication. Yes, get off the medication, all that stuff. Any suggestions? Everything I just named, diet, lifestyle changes, anything I just named, increasing the hydration in your diet. Get off the medication. Get off that medication. Empress, I'm going to be in your inbox. I always say, get off the medication. Do it naturally, okay? Because like I said, the medication sometimes causes a whole bunch of other problems. That's a lie for a whole nother day. Okay, so yes, have a good one, ladies. That's pretty much it. And hopefully this has helped you. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.